Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. And in today's episode or video, we're gonna be talking about something very special. We're gonna be talking about every class or every job at level 200. My dual blader, level 250. So I'm definitely happy with that. Next, we have our shadower. Originally, I was gonna make this my second main, but I kind of got lazy training a shadower. Shadowers are actually really strong, but gonna have to invest some time, some resources in the upbringing of shadower. It's actually a solid class. Next, we have our Aran or Aran. Recently got it to 210 because I just wanted to focus on getting some of the link skills to level 3, so had to get some of the classes to level 210. So pretty solid class as well. Definitely player free to play friendly and beginner friendly because of the innate lifesteal, and it's a warrior, so it's pretty tanky. A little bit of MP consumption issues, but Junior Boogie or any, if you focus on familiars and trying to roll for a MP regen line, then you'll be fine. Next, we have a 220 Buccaneer, and I got this class to 220 a very long time ago, actually, and I just kind of left it there. So, yeah, Buccaneers are pretty strong. Super Saiyan mode, not bad. Next, we have Pathfinder. I probably should get this character to 210, but that's for another time. Pathfinder is great. Got lots of good skills in their kit. Also very player friendly. I don't know if ping is that big of an issue now, but still, I would recommend this character to a new beginner player too. Pathfinder is pretty good. Next, we have Adele, which is by far one of the stronger classes out of like all of them. You have so much utility, you have so much movement, you have so many things that you can do. Right? Even if you're in the air, you can blink backwards, or you can impale into resonance in order to move away. You have a very long iframe, or well, it's not iframe, but it's like you can reduce like damage by like 40%, so that's like pretty good. And then you also have your own bind. So Adele is like well-rounded, pretty strong warrior class, and definitely recommended to new beginner players. Next, we have Mercedes. Mercedes is fun. It's just a slightly weird mechanic where you always have to jump and then use Leaf Tornado. So you're always gonna get spammed with you're not high enough to use the skill in your chat message. So get used to that. Next, we have Kaiser. Kaiser's really good, only in that final form. Other than that, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's just more potential. The 5th job skills are really good. I really enjoy using the 5th job skills on Kaiser. It's kind of like just setting a couple of them, and then like it explodes and kills everything in the map. Pretty good. Dawn Warrior. Dawn Warrior's 5th job skill was the reason why I got it to 200 in the first place. The moon, you just keep, and then like it explodes and like does so many lines, and like I remember bringing him into Sakum and then using the 5th job skill, and it just completely lagged the entire boss fight, and then you see like a bunch of lines just like scroll through. Oh, that was good. Next, we have everyone's favorite hacking class, Kana. Obviously the spawn rate reduction, the timer reduction, that's always really good. But Kana's 5th job skills are actually very solid, right? You just plop them down and then it kills everything on the map. So why not? Next, we have Arc. Now, Arc is a combo heavy class, that's for sure. Like, that's a given. You have to like chain like multiple skills in order to get like the different shards of buffs, and then you use it all to like, consume it all and all that good stuff. It's combo heavy. There's some mechanics to be learned in order to play Arc effectively, but once you got that down, Arc is such a strong class. Only if you can, you know, get past that learning curve. Next, we have the Pew Pew Shooter, Angelic Buster. And I actually got this recently to 210 as well for the Link skill. And aside from all the pew pew noises, Angelic Buster is very solid. High percentage multipliers, so you don't really need to put a lot of resources into making Angelic Buster strong. Definitely worthwhile to train to at least 120 for the Link skill. Next, we have Demon Slayer. Now, I'm trying to get this to 210, and I'll get there soon enough. But Demon Slayer, once you hit 5th job, oh my goodness. Your blue blood, that skill basically, like, you can basically just use that twice, wait for the cooldown from your 5th job skills, and then use that twice again. And then, like, that's like pretty much the cycle. I don't know if buff duration affects it or not, or whatever buff duration. I don't think it affects 5th job skills. I might be wrong, but it'll definitely affect blue blood because that's a hyper skill, I think. Anyway, Demon Slayer, solid class. Don't need MP because it uses Demon Fury. It has an innate lifesteal, and there's also, I think, Judgment is the skill's name. It just recovers your HP. Pretty solid class. Great for bossing, great for mobbing. Well-rounded, very well-rounded. Next, we have Mechanic. Mechanic, I leveled this character up via Terror Burning, mainly because I wanted the Legion card effect. I think it was like buff duration. It gives more buff duration. So I personally wouldn't play Mechanic any further because I just feel it's way too clunky. It's a solid class in terms of damage. The 5th job skills are great, but for my play style, I just don't find it suitable. It just doesn't match my style. Solid class though. Next, we have Wind Archer, a Cygnus Knight Bowman, and pretty good class. I like how when I'm holding down my main Hurricane skill, the other extra arrows that come out and they deal damage to other mobs. I like that. That's really good for mobbing. That way, it's not just like a single target Hurricane skill. It kind of like targets everything within the vicinity. So I like that. 5th job skills are also really good. There's big like mobbing skill. And especially it's a Cygnus Knight too, so they're like innately more strong than adventurers. So definitely worthwhile, and definitely worth checking out, trying out, see how you guys like it. Next, we have Blaze Wizard. Now, Blaze Wizard is kind of an awkward class for me because it's a mage with flash jump. Now, I'm not going to complain about that because then only Blaze Wizard and Kinesis as flash jump as mage. And I just find, the main attacking skill, main mobbing skill is a little bit weird and awkward because it's like you can move it in 2 directions, and while you're flash jumping around, vertical jumping around, you can like kind of move it in like diagonal areas. So it becomes a little bit awkward from time to time because you miss the mobs. It's like it kind of becomes a little bit inconsistent, but then at the same time, you can always pop down that Blazing Sun skill and just like kind of travels around the map and like deals damage. That skill's like pretty good. But yeah, Blaze Wizard is an awkward one for me. I would probably prefer to play another mage class if I had the choice. Next, we have Thunderbreaker. Thunderbreaker is definitely a very strong class. Deals a lot of lines of damage, great mobbing, and yeah, if you combo I think 2 skills together while you're bossing, you can just like output a lot of damage. So solid class. I like Thunderbreaker. Next, we have Nightwalker. Nightwalker is fun, but also kind of slow. I would say it's the slowest of like the core 3 thief classes. I'm mainly talking about Shadower, Night Lord, and Nightwalker. Like if we're talking about like the most original, if it's not throwing stars, it's like dagger. Nightwalker is like number 3 for me. I would put Night Lord on number 2, and then Shadower number 1 if we're ranking those 3. Obviously, if we're ranking Dual Blader as well, obviously that's gonna go above Shadower. But Nightwalker comes with some pretty interesting skills. Definitely check it out. It's different. It's definitely like if you consider having Night Lord versus Nightwalker, both of these classes are throwing star classes, right? It's like comparing Dual-Blader to Shadower. They're both dagger classes, but in terms of throwing stars, Nightlord's just more fluid compared to Nightwalker, and any day of the week I would probably choose Nightlord. Moving on, Kinesis, awkward 5 strength, but very solid class. Requires PP, the psychic points, instead of MP. And I find that Kinesis is actually quite strong. I played Kinesis again on my Camus account, and I got that to 200 without much problems. Without any big problems. And yeah, pretty good kit. Has a good mobbing capability. In terms of bossing, you just like make sure that you have enough PP and that you're, I think I don't remember the skill name, but just use that skill that it's like a punching skill. I don't remember the name, but combine 2 skills together to have your most optimal DPS. That's all I have to say for Kinesis. Next is Battle Mage. I would say Battle Mage is a very strong contender out of all of the mages because it has just everything in their kit. If you need more attack speed, you have more attack speed aura. If you want to have lifesteal, you have a lifesteal aura. If you want to reduce enemy defense, you have an aura for that. Basically, you are prepared for any situation. It has 100% stance. So it's overall the most balanced and well-rounded mage class, because once you hit 5th job, the mobbing thing doesn't become that big of a problem anymore. Before 5th job, like 1st to 4th job, yeah, mobbing is kind of a problem because you don't have the range in your quintuple blow or something like that, whatever that name's called, your main damaging skill. It's not that big of a range, but once you hit 5th job, the range increases, and yeah, you're good to go from there on. Next we have Luminous. Luminous is by far the easiest in terms of like mobbing. It's like a no-brainer. You can kind of just sit there and hold down your skill, your main attacking skill, and everything just dies. The only thing I would say Luminous, the only thing you have to do for Luminous is manage your light and dark modes. Like to know that when you're in dark mode, you should use dark mode skills. And if you're in light mode, you should use light mode skills. And then for bossing, you use Ender, and you use, you just hold that down, and it just destroys everything. It has 100% crit rate. It does like 15 lines of damage, I think. So, pretty good. Evan, I'm not a big fan of Evan. It's just kind of clunky. The teleport is awful. All of the adventure explorers, or the explorers mage classes, you can jump and teleport. You can't do that for Evan. For Luminous, you can jump and teleport twice once you're in equilibrium, so that's fine. Battle Mage, you can do it whenever. So the teleport for Evan is the worst by far, right? You have to stand. You can't even like teleport from hanging on a rope. So by far the worst. Next part, there's just so many combos with Mir, the dragon. I mean, I really just stick with like one combo, and then that was it. But there's a lot to manage when you're playing Evan. If you want to be a really good Evan player, you're gonna have to invest a lot of time to like pressing all the buttons. You got, because like I feel like it's like you call a combo, and you use a combo, and then you call Mir back, and you use another combo and call Mir back. So there's a lot of micromanaging, I feel. Yeah, I think Evan is not, it just doesn't fit my playstyle. Moving on, we have Shade. Shade is quite tanky, has an innate lifesteal, which is, very helpful actually. And I quite enjoy the 5th job of Shade because it unlocks a lot more mobbing capability than from 1st to 4th job. The main bossing skill, it only hits like 4 enemies, and it does hit more horizontal than vertical. I would probably recommend Shade as like, if you want to try out a pirate class, then you can go Shade. Next we have Hayato, a GMS exclusive class. Hayatos are very strong if you put in the resources. They have so much versatility, and their mobility is actually really good too. I actually enjoyed playing Hayato, even past 5th job. You know, just destroying mobs for dailies. That was really good. I think one small issue that players might have is the MP consumption, especially in early game. If you can somehow overcome it, maybe by potions or, you know, by familiar, Hayato is very solid once you put some resources in it. Right, next we have Hero, the most basic warrior class. Like, it has pretty much everything. It's well balanced and it hits the hardest out of the 3 warriors. Overall, you're start a new MMORPG, what class do I make? Yeah, you probably will make a hero. Next we have Xenon, the I don't know if I'm a pirate or a thief class, so I'll just be both. Yeah, Xenon is good. Snipe is actually amazing for bossing and mobbing. Worst part about Xenon is that you have to focus on all stat percentage for all your equips. And yeah, you really don't know if you want to wear pirate gear or thief gear, but still solid class. It has a permanent shadow clone and mobility is really good too. Very nice. Moving on, Night Lord. Yeah, I would probably play Night Lord more than Nightwalker. Moving on, we have Ice Lightning Mage. Now, Ice Lightning Mage, once you hit 5th job, it becomes oh so good. You're like just the 5th job skills just like demolish the entire map. And you just sit there and you just watch everything die. And it's amazing. Press one button and everything dies. It's great. Moving on. Kadena. Now, Kadena was kind of like the first class to like experiment with like comboing and like the grapple hook mechanic. And I think it's like the first class to experiment with this mechanic because I played Kayn on KMS, and that's the second class that has a grapple hook that's like diagonal. But Kadena was kind of like the guinea pig for that mechanic, and then also the comboing stuff. Like you have to use the different skills from 1st to 4th job in order to uphold a buff. There was also that mechanic. If you can deal with all that, all of the micromanaging and everything, Kadena actually deals a lot of damage, and consistent damage too. If you're bossing with Kadena, yeah, you'll be in a good place. And it's also a thief class, so bosses pretty much can never hurt you, unless it's like a % HP attack, then it's like, good luck. Next we have Ilium. Ilium is good, but squishy. Very squishy. And that's because they don't have Magic Guard. And even though it doesn't have Magic Guard, it's just, yeah, you have to uphold 10 stacks of the crystal buff thing, and then you just have to keep spamming, you know, the 2 buttons so that the ball follows you, and then like, you know, you're shooting your ball into the ball that's out there. Oh man, if you can deal with every, you know, it's not a simple class, okay? Let's just put it that way. It's not a simple class, right? You have to maintain, you have to micromanage where the ball is. And then you gotta like shoot where, you know, it's just not my play style. Let's just call it that. Moving on, we have Cannon Master. Cannon Master was fun. I enjoyed spamming that one super long cannon blast skill and just like annihilating the entire map. That was fun. Cannon Master is pretty good as a pirate. You know, just good at mobbing, has good bossing capabilities as well. So another solid pirate class. Next we have Hoyoung. Hoyoung is an interesting thief class. I would say once you figure out how to play Hoyoung, like getting the buffs out consistently, maintaining the buffs, because you have to fill up your gauge in multiple ways, and then you can use the buff. So once you get that down, once you learn that, Hoyoung is actually pretty strong. I saw this one gif of Hoyoung bossing tutorial, and he was just holding down one skill. that was pretty funny. Next we have Phantom. Phantom is good for Link skill, gives you more crit rate if you're lacking in crit rate. That way you don't have to invest in more crit rate in your Legion. And the gimmick for Phantom is you can steal all Adventurer class skills. So like even like Final Cut from Dual Blader and even Cannon Master, you can steal skills from there. You know, that's their gimmick. Phantoms aren't as strong though. Because they're taking skills from other classes, it's not the same. Like it just gets, it's a reduction of like the full skill. So you're gonna need to invest a lot more resources into trying to make Phantom strong. Now I'm not saying Phantom sucks, because there's definitely Delusion Dash, but not everyone is Delusion Dash. So if you want to play Phantom, go ahead and play Phantom. Just be aware that you're gonna have to pour a lot of resources in order to make it strong. Next we have Wild Hunter. Wild Hunter is amazing. Like the mobbing capability, the bossing capability, and the Jaguars. Oh right, if you can't catch it, yeah, there's like one Jaguar you can't catch anymore, but we'll skim over that. But other than that, Wild Hunter is very solid. There's a lot of good skills that you can use. It can cover a lot of ground in the map if you're training, so very good. Next we have Dark Knight. Dark Knight is a pretty tanky kind of knight, of a warrior. And it has access to a lot of good skills. Yeah, basic warrior, not much to say. Hi, Kobe. Next, we have Marksman. Marksman is amazing at 5th job. Oh my goodness, like Snipe, it just does like amazing lines of damage. So many lines of damage, and it mobs after that at 5th job. Oh, so good. All right, moving on. Zero. Hi, Steve. But Zero, not my playstyle. That's what I'll say, because there's quite a lot of combos. But if you want Zero content, go to Steve's channel. Next, Blaster. You need 2 hands, 2 feet, and maybe your face to play. Jet, actually becoming stronger and not just a meme. Jet has a mob vac that brings all the mobs behind in front of him or her, whatever Jet's gender is, but regardless, solid class now because the flash jump is the furthest propelling flash jump in the entire game in upwards, verticality, and horizontal. So if you really need a hustle, Jet is the way to go. Next we have Beast Tamer. Beast Tamer, yeah, mobility is amazing in the Snow Tiger form or Snow Jaguar, whatever you want to call that animal. That was really good. It's like go up, go down, go up, go down, go up, go down, and then you just kill everything in the map. Beast Tamer is really good. Bear mode also is really good for bossing, or like it's good for stationary damage. If you don't want to, if you're not moving that much, you're kind of like stuck in kind of one position and dealing out damage. The cat version is good for support, so you can always just make a Beast Tamer purely for support. You know, you can sell, you know, your service to other players. The bird form, I really haven't tampered much with it because I didn't find the bird form to be that appealing. Moving on, we have Fire Poison Mage. Highest DPS, I think, out of the Explorer mages. I found it kind of clunky ever since 4th job, but if you can, it's kind of just your, you know, bossing kind of mage. The mobbing is subpar compared to some other mages. It's not the best, but when it comes to bossing, it is the best, I would say. Next we have Demon Avenger, your free-to-play, beginner-friendly class to get a taste of what MapleStory has to offer. And right after you hit 4th job, you're probably gonna drop this class. I mean, sorry, whatever. Once you hit 200 with this class or 210 with this class, you're probably gonna drop it and never touch it again because it sucks. And I'm not even kidding. It's awful. Next, we have Bowmaster. We have the original Hurricane Bowmaster, Bowman class. I have no issues with Bowmaster. It's just your standard Bowman. Probably needs a revamp soon. Next, we have Mihail, the other Cygnus Knight warrior class. Now, Mihail is fun. You get a 100% knockback resistance buff as the Link skill that you can share with your other characters, so that's helpful. And yeah, the skills are pretty good mobbing range with the main skill. And then for bossing is also pretty good too. Next we have Bishop. Bishop at 5th job actually opens up the slowness of mobbing, I would say, because Big Bang it's okay. Like the range for Big Bang is okay, but once you hit 5th job, that's when things start blowing up. Other than that, you can always use Bishop as a support, right? You can use your Holy Symbol, you can use your Advanced Blessing to help other players. I think at 5th job there's one skill that prevents players from dying or something, or like from a fatal attack, and then like if they do die, it like automatically revives them or something like that. I don't remember. And then the other skill, I think it's like based on how much main stat or int the Bishop has, it directly translates into like more attack power or like magic attack power to like other players. So it was like a really strong buff. I think Benediction, or is that the skill name? Great support class, or the best support class, one of the best support classes out there. Next we have Corsair. Corsair has a fun mechanic to it. You just plop down your summons and then you just like destroy everything with your other main mobbing skill. Corsair actually has really high crit damage as well. So definitely a very strong pirate in my opinion, because you don't really need to put a lot of resources into making it strong because of that crit damage. Some other classes need a lot of help to raise the crit damage, so where to a point where it's significant enough to do more damage. But Corsair, yeah, solid, very solid. Next we have the unkillable warrior, Paladin. Well, to say the least, this was my last character to get to level 200, and the main reason is because of Ultimate NPC. Anyway, Paladin is pretty basic from 1st to 4th job. Once you hit 5th job, you unlock some pretty interesting skills. They're pretty spicy. You get a hammer that swirls around you, and you can just jump around, and it kills things for you. So that's fun. So yeah, and that's it. That's all the 200s that I have. The next character is another Buccaneer that's 160, so we're just gonna skip over that. We have another Beast Tamer that's level 145, and we're just gonna skip over that. We have a Nightwalker that's level 102, and it's a very old character. And then I have this Legend, which is a beginner Aran class that I decided I was gonna give up on. So that concludes all of my characters in GMS. So yeah, that's my little account. That's my account. I have all of the classes at level 200 and all of them at 5th job, and I don't know where I'm gonna go from here. Maybe I'll do link skills, maybe I'll play some other classes, maybe, you know, I'll just try and fund my dual blader until I can solo hard lucid and become the strongest dual blader in the server. I don't know. Anyway, you've heard me rant on and on enough. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to show your support in whatever way you fancy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.